Here comes Mike as we move into the second half of this match. Mike Fagan, a gold medal winner at the World Games in Cali in Colombia in 10-pin bowling. The gold medal in the mixed doubles with Katie Kulik earlier this summer. Leaves the 10 standing. It's another spare.
Yeah, can't ring 3 strikes in a row. Leaves that 10-pin yet again. It's just the difference in the angle of going into the pocket that leaves that 10-pin up. He's bowled 2 strikes in a row and was looking for the third. Wasn't to be.
Just that 1-pin differential at present. Left-hand edge again, but he made it.
Yeah, more practice at the 10-pin. Certainly wouldn't expect him to miss it twice in a game, but it has happened. But just covers it nicely. We move to the second half of the game. Just the 1 pin in it on maximum scores if they can both strike out now. Oh, Larsen's gone a wide. The referee's called a wide on that shot. He's missed the head pin right hand side. Probably got snagged up in some lane oil, which is still out there. It hasn't been moved. Sailed past the head pin, leaves the 1, 2 and the 4 pin, which are fortunately a makeable spare, but spares are not what Larsen needs.
Kind of overcompensated there after leaving the opposite 3 spare in the previous frame.
Yeah, he was working on a spare, so he's lost some pins with that 7 count. Need to make a spare here. Does that quite nicely and easy enough.
Down go those remaining 3. So this is anyone's at present. Frame 7.
Fagan looking to get back on the strike line again.
Managed it in frames 1, 4 and 5. No.
Guess what he's left?
Tricky 10 again.
Mike, who likes coming to Europe close season and has had some victories in Europe.
Well done. Mike Fagan makes that spare. USA maximum here of 226 in this final singles match of the session. And it's either going to be 10-8 US or 9-all. And it's a big difference, and it affects the way you traipse back to the hotel and gear yourself up for the final 2 sessions of this Weber Cup. Martin Larsen. Strike! For the first time since frame 3. He needed that. He got it.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, it was a tactical ball change there as well. Just to change the angle of entry into the pocket and carried all 10 pins. He had to do something. He'd gone 3 frames in a row without a strike, and at this level you really need to be making 10. So it was a great adjustment he's made there, and hopefully he can double up on that.
Mike Fagan on 2 spares. Make that 3.
Well, I could see that was wrong as soon as it got off his hand. He's way left on his approach there. The ball's delivered. As soon as it came off his hand, it was left, high through the head pin. Went pretty straight, actually. Just have a look at this. Well inside his mark. I'm not quite sure what he was looking for there, but leaves the 3, 6, 10. He's lost pins with a 7 count. Certainly not many balls going in the pocket in this this match so far.
Nicely made though, nicely finished off by Mike.
Yeah, it could only be a spare, and his score drops down to a maximum 213. Well, Larsen can still go 223 if he can go off the sheet. He's working on a strike. It's his time to take advantage. He's made the ball change in the last frame. It worked for him. Can he do it again? Okay, he's taking a re-rack for some particular reason, which only he knows, which is allowed to do. Fresh set of pins, standing up in a true triangle.
Martin was a winner in San Marino earlier this year. 6 EBT titles next to his name. Wants to be a Weber Cup winner again for Europe. Strike! 2 in a row for Martin Larsen.
Yes, and a very happy European contingent. Martin just trying to set himself up here for the victory. It's his mark down lane and just absolutely buries it. Great reaction in the back end, and he likes that one.
Keeping calm though, back in the chair is Martin Larsen.
I was going to say, yeah, he's looking very relaxed, isn't he? He's taken the lead. He's working on 2 strikes of pressure now.
Foundation frame for Fagan. Goodness me. Leaves the 7 that time. Spare again, and there really have been too many of those for Team USA's liking. That is 4 in a row now.
Yeah, got to shoot a single pin spare on the left-hand side of the pin deck now, so he moves his feet across to the right of the approach, and he'll go right to left, but pretty straight.
6 spares in this game alone for Mike Fagan, all but one of them made now. 202 maximum.
Larsen needing to keep the ball in play, make the pocket, carry all 10 and try and sew this game up in the foundation frame.
This session has ebbed and flowed dramatically though, hasn't it? We started out with a European win in the Baker. Then the first singles encounter between Chris Barnes and Dom Barrett went the USA's way. And it was Barrett beating Barnes, Koivuniemi beating O'Neill, Jones beating Williams. And now, frame 9 for Martin Larsen. He leaves a spare after those 2 straight strikes.
And if you look at the maximums, there's a potential for a tie here. Larsen can spare here. We'll be dead level going into the 10th frame, and it will be a 1-frame shootout. How about that? We could certainly have our first tie of the event.
Providing, of course, Martin Larsen made that spare, which he did. Yeah, 202 maximums. 2-frame roll-off? Maybe. We will see. Someone might well blink in frame 10 here.
Well, let's say that probably the first man to double will win this one. But both have been slightly shy on the strikes. Larsen 4 strikes. Fagan only 3. Pressure time on both players, but it's Fagan up first who's going to set the bar.
Keep things in his own hands. Needs to strike. No, doesn't manage it.
Dear,
doesn't manage it at all.
Just an 8 count, and Chris looks rather concerned because not only is it 8, but it's also a little sleeper, the 2 and the 8 pin, which is not the easiest spare. His score maximum drops to 190 if he can spare this. Well, it's the last game of the session, and it doesn't get more dramatic than this. Pressure really much here on Mike Fagan. The king of swing needs to make a spare and then hit 10. Oh, how thin was that? Well, Chris can't believe it either.
Thought that was going to scoot past the 2 and claim the 8. Both tumbled. Best he could hope for in the circumstances.
Well, the situation is that he's made a spare here, a strike for 190, which means that Martin Larsen, a 9th best strike, and he will win by a pin. Needs 10 just to have a chance, anything less, and I'm sure Larsen's going to tidy it all up.
No, just never looked fully confident there, did he? Mike Fagan will have to sit back and take the medicine, I suspect, here. Martin Larsen stepping up here to level the Weber Cup at 9-all. How about that after the end of the third session with 2 more to come?
Well, he doesn't need a strike, but 9 spare would be good.
Knows what he's got to do.
9 spare 9 is a victory by a pin. A strike in the first on the first ball will be victory.
Larsen steals himself. Wow, what about this? Talk about going to the wire.
Martin could have thrown this one away. He needs a spare. He's left a big split.
Mike Fagan currently clambering out of the jailhouse window.
Well, he's left the 2 and the 10, which he has to spare, and then he's got a strike for a tie. I'm afraid Martin has possibly thrown this one away.
Would you believe it? Right at the end of the session. Sat on their backsides most of the afternoon since the Baker. Hasn't been the highest scoring contest we've seen in this year's Weber Cup. What have you got left here, Martin?
This has to be a spare. Nothing else will do.
No, nearly gave it his best shot, but it wasn't good enough here. Well, that is a bit of a shocker. We really fancied Europe levelling the Weber Cup up here, but Mike Fagan has somehow claimed victory in the final singles of the session. Don't think even he can believe it. So, the United States ending with 2 singles victories. Jones and Fagan putting those 2 big fat red points on the board for Team United States, and it is a 10-8 advantage at the end of the third session. Extraordinary scenes here with Mike Fagan playing his get out of jail free card at the expense of Martin Larsen. Well, Tony is on stage with presumably a couple of stunned players.
Thanks, I'm with both players. Mike, first, congratulations. It ebbed and flowed, that game, and we didn't know right until the end. You didn't either. Are you surprised to have won that game?
I would say I'm surprised. Yeah, I mean, I didn't bowl very well. I made a lot of bad shots. I missed a single pin spare, which is unacceptable, and I was very fortunate to win that game. So, I mean, we got lucky.
Martin, until the end there, it looked like you were going to win that game. Unfortunately, it didn't quite roll for you on that 10th frame, but until then, it looked like you were going to draw Europe level.
I mean, we both struggled during the whole game, and Mike didn't throw a great last frame to give me a chance to do it, and I obviously threw it a little bit worse. So, yeah, it's tough. I would like to throw it better there.
Well played, Martin. Mike, you have won the point for the USA. That means tonight you can sleep perhaps a little bit easily. You go into the final day, such a crucial day, with a 2-point buffer.
I'm happy we got a 2-point lead, but I'd like to increase my performance. I don't feel like I bowled a very good game there, so hopefully tomorrow I can make some adjustments and win in a little bit more convincing fashion.
Well done to both of you. Thanks very much indeed. So the USA lead by 2. Last year, it was a landslide. This year it's anything but. It's so close, but the USA do have a slight lead. We'll see you next time.